My older sister's voice sliced through the noise of clinking glasses long before the sting of her words reached me. "Lena won't mind watching the kids," she said, waving a hand toward me like I was part of the furniture. "She's used to it." Before I could respond, her twins tumbled into my lap, one yanking my necklace until it snapped, the other knocking over a cup of strawberry punch that spilled all over my sleeve. Everyone laughed. Not a single person asked if I needed help. Not one pair of eyes even met mine. My aunt joked, "Well, that's what the free babysitter is for." More laughter. More clinking glasses. I stood up, slow and controlled, the chair scraping the floor loud enough to silence the room for half a heartbeat. But no one looked. No one noticed the stain. No one cared that it wasn't even my celebration. That night, I didn't explode. I didn't argue. I didn't even let myself cry. I just went home, opened my closet, and began folding clothes into a suitcase. They assumed I'd still join them on the big family trip they had been planning for weeks. They thought I'd fall back into place like always. But while they were busy laughing, I had already found a flight going somewhere else, somewhere with a view that didn't include them. Before I tell you how everything fell apart, tell me, where are you listening from? Just so I know someone out there understands what invisible feels like. Growing up, I told myself my family wasn't mean. They were just busy. That's what my mother repeated anytime I felt overshadowed by my sister, Claire. The hallway in our house was lined with framed memories. Her first dance recital, her scholarship award, her engagement photos. My section of the wall? A single baby picture and a kindergarten drawing crookedly taped because frames are expensive. When I was 16, I won a statewide creative writing contest. I remember rushing home, placing the official letter on the counter while Mom stirred a pot of soup. "That's lovely, sweetheart," she said without turning around. Then the phone rang, Claire calling with her latest good news. By the time the call ended, my award letter had disappeared beneath a stack of coupons and grocery lists. It stayed buried there for weeks. In college, I worked 2 jobs to cover rent, textbooks, and food. Weekend after weekend, Claire's messages came like clockwork. "Can you watch the twins? Just a few hours. Mom says you're free." Free. As if my time didn't cost anything. When I finally told him I needed help covering tuition, my father didn't even look up from the crossword puzzle. "We're still paying off your sister's wedding," he said. "As a family, we make sacrifices." Funny how I was the only one making them. It wasn't one breaking point. It was 1,000 tiny cuts. Hand-me-down sweaters that didn't fit. Last-minute babysitting. Birthdays merged with the twins' parties to save time. My achievements forgotten, while Claire's were practically televised. I thought staying quiet made me easygoing. But silence is just debt, and eventually someone collects. It was supposed to be my birthday dinner, but the cake already had the twins' names iced across it, because, as my mother put it, why not celebrate everyone together? The candles were shaped like cartoon animals. I was turning 28. The twins clapped. Everyone laughed. After dessert, my mom slid an envelope toward me. "A surprise," she announced. "A family getaway. We already booked everything." Dad nodded, proud of the generosity. "You'll love it, Lena, and you'll help with the kids so Claire can finally unwind." I felt something in my chest tilt, like a painting slipping off its nail. I placed my fork down gently. "I'm not going." The room froze. Claire's smile faltered. "What do you mean?" She laughed nervously. "I mean, I'm not going." I repeated. Mom frowned. Don't start drama. It's a gift. No, I said, breathing evenly. It's an assignment. Dad muttered something about gratitude. Claire whispered, unbelievable. I didn't yell. I didn't bite back. My hands didn't even shake. I simply stood. You've had my weekends, my nights, my time, my patience. You can have the trip too, just without me. Their voices tangled behind me as I walked away. But when the door closed, their noise stayed inside. And for the first time in years, the quiet wasn't punishment. It was oxygen. I booked my flight that night. The word confirm glowed on my screen like a lifeline. Over the next week, I moved differently. I stopped replying to Claire's texts, stopped volunteering information, stopped trying to be the dependable one. I printed out my flight confirmation, hotel bookings, receipts, lined them in a neat folder like evidence of a life I was finally choosing. I bought a new suitcase, silver and quiet-wheeled. When the clerk asked, business or pleasure, I told her the truth. Freedom. My suitcase waited under my bed, half-packed, holding clothes I'd never worn around my family because they'd call them impractical. 2 days before their departure, I stood in front of the family photo wall. Claire's wedding, Claire's kids, Claire's milestones. I took down her largest frame and set it face down. It didn't fall. It didn't break. It just stopped watching me. The next morning, the house buzzed with frantic packing. My mom shouted checklists. My dad argued about chargers. The twins crashed into walls giggling. I walked through them quietly, bag already in my car. I'll meet you there, I said. They didn't even look up. Perfect. At the airport, I didn't go to their terminal. I went to mine. A completely different gate. A completely different flight. A completely different life. As soon as I sat down, I opened my phone and sent the message I'd been saving. I'm taking my own vacation. Enjoy yours. Then I powered my phone off and boarded. While they paced gate 42, yelling my name, I was already 30,000 feet above them, the clouds swallowing everything I owed. Hours later, when I turned my phone back on, it nearly exploded with notifications. Where are you? The twins are crying. You're embarrassing us. This is selfish. Answer your phone now. I didn't. The island air greeted me with warm wind and ocean salt. No screaming toddlers, no guilt-packed expectations, no one assuming I'd pick up the slack. Just space. Space big enough for a new version of me. At the beach market, I bought a small stone pendant carved with tiny waves. The vendor said it symbolized letting go of old tides. When I held it, it felt like truth. That night, I wrote in my journal, freedom doesn't shout. It whispers. You just have to be quiet enough to hear it. I slept without my phone beside me, without fear I'd be needed, wanted, used. Just sleep. Actual rest, for the first time since childhood. When I flew home days later, I didn't drive to my parents' house. I drove to my own apartment. Tiny, quiet, unclaimed by anyone else's needs. My suitcase thumped softly against the floor. The pendant glowed faintly on my desk in the afternoon light. I didn't check my phone for hours. When I finally did, there were more messages. You ruined everything. We counted on you. You should apologize. I didn't respond. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. I simply deleted the entire thread. Gone in one motion. The next morning, I opened my window to the clean, early quiet of the city. No one calling my name, no twins crying, no sister demanding. Just wind, just light, just me. And honestly, it didn't feel lonely. It felt earned. If you've ever had to walk away from the people who loved what you did more than who you were, tell me in the comments. What was the moment you realized you deserved peace? And if this story resonated with you, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications for Clara's Revenge, where every silent victory finally gets told out loud.